Welcome to Mind Life Weekly. My name is Derek, and this channel is all about simple psychology for life. If this is your first time here, thank you for clicking this video. If you're returning, I'm glad you're back. Either way, consider subscribing to our channel to stay updated on all of our videos. And if you found this video useful, hit the bell icon to be notified of more future videos like these. Today, as promised in our last video, we'll be diving into the formula of SMART goals. So without any further ado, let's begin. S means specific. You have to say exactly what you want and be specific about it. For example, saying I want more money isn't very specific. But saying I want to have $1,234 in my account is very specific. Setting specific goals also means that you will know exactly when you've achieved your goals. Why? It's very simple. Using the money example here, you'll know you've achieved your goal because when you look at your bank balance, you'll find your $1,234. M means measurable. You need to have some kind of feedback loop to let you know whether you're on track or not. This second step, measurability, is absolutely crucial to any kind of action goal. Why? Because it's at the heart of the motivation you'll need to keep going persistently over time. If you have no feedback, you tend to derail. And for most people, it's very demotivating when they do not know how they are doing in a specific task. They tend to give up even though they may be so close to success. This is because they have no way of knowing how good or how badly they're doing. With our money goal, for example, if you look in your account to see that you have $10, your inner voice would say, "Okay, we've got a long way to go," because your bank account just gave you feedback. A couple of days later, you check back in for more feedback, and now there's $1,000 in there. By using this feedback, you think to yourself, "Great, I'm much closer to where I want to be. Keep going." And one day, you have your precise amount. You look at your account and go, "Wow, I have achieved it." You know you've been successful because your goal was specific and it was easy to measure. You could tell easily that you had achieved it or that you were getting close to achieving it. A means affect. Affect is a formal word for emotions or how you feel about something. The emotional content of goals is the juice or motivating fuel. So every good goal needs emotion. A healthy emotion or affect is the motivation that keeps you going. A goal can be flat and have no juice. For example, when you talk about a career goal and think, "Yeah, I really want this career. Yeah." There's not much energy in that. There's a small amount of motivation and it's very unlikely you'll be actually doing something to achieve your goal. But there is a simple secret to increase your chances of achieving your goal. Your thoughts and your feelings determine your actions. This is the key to successfully achieving your goals. If your thoughts and feelings are both aligned toward the goal and juiced up, then your actions can move forward toward the goal. If one of those two things is missing, the thought or the feeling, then your actions cannot seek the goal. In other words, if you feel very strongly about something, but you have no idea what it is, you'll then become frustrated because you won't know what to do. There will be no appropriate action to take. On the other hand, if you know what you want to achieve, but you don't care much about it or you're inhibited by it, feeling afraid and so on, again, there won't be much action that is moving you toward achieving this goal. You simply won't be pumping your energy into it. This is a crucial step that a lot of people get wrong. For example, let us say that someone tells you you should stop smoking, and you think to yourself, "Well, I like this person, so sure, I'll give it a go." But deep down, the honest truth is you don't want to do it. There's nothing inside you that says, "Yes, this is the reason why I should stop smoking." So you might have a specific goal to stop smoking by a certain date. It might even be measurable. Do I smoke or do I not smoke? But is there any affect there? Is there a strong feeling attached? The short answer is no. At that point, you can almost guarantee that this specific goal will fail. You will need to add something into your formula to make it succeed. In other words, you have to get a stronger motivator to really drive this goal. But not to worry, I'm not going to leave you out on a lurch with this one. If you need to find out how to get more motivation to achieve things, subscribe now and you'll be notified on future videos to maximize your motivation. These future videos will share the 16 core drivers, the needs inside every human being, which are plugged into motivations and are immensely powerful. How powerful? Well, people have literally moved mountains as a result of tapping into them. So, if your action goal lacks effect, then you need to turn to your motivators and find which one of your 16 desires or needs can you plug into the goal to make it really work for you. R means reasonable. Now this is a tricky one. A lot of people make excuses. For example, they might say, "Oh, it's not reasonable for me to expect this or that out of life." But that's not the kind of reasonable I'm referring to. By reasonable, I mean, is it something that human beings are capable of achieving? For example, if your goal is to fly to the moon by just sheer willpower, well, good luck to you. Because given what we currently know about physics, that won't be possible anytime soon. However, if your goal is to get to the moon, regardless of how you do it, well, that's very different. That's much more reasonable because we humans can create machines and devices to get there. Of course, we know this for a fact because people have done it already. That leads us to an interesting dilemma. How do you decide what's reasonable? One simple guideline is to ask yourself if other people have achieved this. If other people can do it, chances are you can too. But that leaves us with the category, what I call dream goals. Dream goals are those that no one knows whether or not it's even possible to achieve them. Naysayers might tell you, there's no way that it can happen. There's no way that man will fly. There's no way that man will reach the moon. Of course, as you know already, we have managed to do both. I'm afraid for these bigger dreamlike goals or bigger visions, you're going to be on your own. You'll have to decide for yourself whether it's worth the risk to really investigate if your dreamlike visions are truly possible. Luckily, most of the things people are interested in achieving, the goals we like to set for ourselves, such as more money, more love, happiness and health and so on, they are all quite reasonable. You just have to figure out how much time, energy and effort you will need to invest in order to achieve it. T means timed. Goals need to be timed because people need deadlines in order to achieve things. If you say to yourself, for example, "I'm going to be a millionaire," that's wonderful because there's a lot of emotion in that. We have the affect part, the step 3 of the whole process. Now let's look for the rest of SMART. Is it specific? You bet. $1 million is very specific. You'll certainly be able to know when you have your $1 million. Is it measurable? Absolutely. Is it reasonable? Well, yes. Plenty of individuals have demonstrated it's very reasonable. There are millions of millionaires on the planet, and many more are constantly joining their ranks. What's more is most of them come from rags to riches stories. So it's reasonable. But is it timed? Do you know when you're going to achieve it, or by when you want to have it? No. The problem with not having the T of our formula, the time or deadline, is that you might never get started. You might carry on with your normal day-to-day activities and not even start the entire process of moving towards your goal. On the other hand, if you set a deadline, a time by which the realization of your goal has to occur, it's then you'll be motivated to get going and moving. Let's say you're wanting to be a millionaire by the time you're 30, 40 or 50, or whatever age you want to put in there. Setting that time limit by which you'll achieve this deadline would light a fire under your behind. It says, well, I have just a few years left. I'd better get my act together. Write your goals down. Action goals are also activated when you write them down. The written goal serves us in several ways. It's expressed and externalized into the world. In many ways, it's born into the world. Also, it becomes a constant reminder that you can read from time to time to help you move along towards realizing it. The written goal becomes a reminder to your subconscious mind, telling it where to put your deep mind's attention, energy, and efforts. However, it's important you have your action goal statement to be clear and concise in order to mobilize your inner mind. If you cannot state your action goal in 15 words or less, then chances are it's not yet defined well enough. For example, I will be a millionaire by the time I'm 30 fits our criteria. It's short and it's sweet. We know exactly what we're talking about. On the other hand, thinking to yourself the following words: at some point before I'm middle-aged or retired, I'm going to be a very wealthy millionaire, running an international corporation of some sort, doing something. Then you're going to run into trouble. Can you hear how the second goal statement just faded into a vague statement? Bringing it down to its core essence will get you excited about it, because the statement has transformed into what you want and what you can achieve. Conclusion. Action goals become more powerful when we create an action plan. An action plan breaks your goal down into a series of manageable steps or sub-goals, and these smaller goals can be achieved quickly and easily as they move you toward your larger goal. This will be explained in an upcoming video, so do subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to be notified when it's ready. I hope you learned something valuable from our video. That's about it from me. Mind Life Weekly will continue to have more discussions on creating an action plan, where you take your main goal and break it down into many smaller sub-goals, tiny goals that are achievable easily and quickly. We will also look at ways to measure your progress and to help you stay on track. By keeping yourself on track with a clear target in mind, you'll maintain a maximum level of motivation. So stay excited for that next fascinating video. As always, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, show us your appreciation by tapping the like button on your way out. And remember to subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay informed when our next video is released, which will be much sooner than you think.